The NASDAQ coming off its worst week since September after a slew of reports from big tech. Our Seema Modi's been tracking some of that action. Hey, Seema.
Hey, Carl. And semiconductors specifically trying to make up ground after losing over $360 billion in market cap last week. Nvidia, the biggest laggard, though, rebounding today as we await its inclusion into the Dow this Friday. Separately, South Korean memory chip supplier SK Hynix has been asked by Nvidia to pull forward production of its next-generation memory product. It's seen as yet another data point that reiterates the strong demand for Nvidia's graphic processing units. This, as a growing number of analysts are voicing their concern around the broader impact of the election on the chip sector. BofA calculating the impact of a higher tax rate if Vice President Harris wins and says it would be a long-term negative for Nvidia and others like Texas Instruments and Qualcomm, which reports earnings this week. The biggest potential challenge, according to BofA, though, is the prospect of tariffs under former President Trump, which would challenge the sector, increase costs for memory and equipment players. For reference, the chip sector outperformed the S&P on average by 51% under a Democrat in office, 38% under a Republican.
According to a Reuters story, SK Group Chairman Chi Ta-won stated on Monday that NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang had encouraged SK Hynix to accelerate production of its next-generation high-bandwidth memory chips, known as HBM4. According to the article, SK Hynix initially planned to begin supplying these cutting-edge chips in the second half of 2025, as declared in October. The South Korean business did not elaborate, but it did announce last week that it is currently working toward an expedited schedule. The huge demand for energy-efficient, large-capacity memory chips that drive NVIDIA's GPUs, which are essential to the development of artificial intelligence, is highlighted by Huang's request. According to the analysis, the requirement for quicker delivery of HBM chips is increased by NVIDIA's existing 80% market. In order to meet the increasing demand for HBM, which is critical for processing large data sets needed for AI training and is important for NVIDIA's AI chipsets, SK Hynix has been a major player in the worldwide rivalry. However, other significant memory manufacturers like Samsung Electronics and Micron are now becoming a bigger threat to the corporation. Kwak No-jong, the CEO of SK Hynix, stated at the SK AI Summit 2024 in Seoul that the company hopes to deliver its most recent 12-layer HBM3E to an unidentified customer this year and anticipates releasing samples of a more sophisticated 16-layer HBM3E by early next year. After earlier delays, Samsung recently reported progress on a supply arrangement with a significant customer. The article also stated that the company plans to begin producing HBM4 in the second half of next year and is in negotiations with additional significant clients to develop improved HBM3E goods in the first half of the upcoming year. To stay informed about the latest developments from NVIDIA and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts. So hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on NVIDIA stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now let's dive into today's video.
When I look at the return on investment for the hyperscalers and for the entire technology sector, I actually think we're starting to see it. I mean, take Meta as an example. At one point during the year, people thought that Meta would have Q4 growth rates in the mid-single digits. Now that number is closer to 20%. And why is that? That's because they've been able to use AI to get a lot better targeting in their core advertising business. On Apple, I think we're going to see the beginning of an upgrade cycle that's going to last over the next 24 months. And then, of course, of the Mag 7, NVIDIA is probably the best position for this whole thing as they're selling the linchpin technology to all of these vendors.
I mean, I guess it's worth asking the question, though, Dom, should we even think about the Mag? I mean, these things change, right? We had the FANGs, then we had the Mag 7. Like, do we need a different term? Should we even be lumping all these guys together at this point?
Well, like you said on the segment before, it's really been the Magnificent Two this year, and they all have really different business models, right? You know, some of them are much more internet focused, and obviously NVIDIA is more hardware and software focused. But I think the divergence that we've seen amongst the Magnificent Seven and between the Mag 7 and the S&P 493 is really quite natural. And why is that? Just look at the EPS growth rates, right? In 2024, the Magnificent Seven collectively are going to grow earnings roughly 40%. And the rest of the market, the 493, are going to grow earnings in the low single
In the midst of the ongoing AI boom, hyperscalers like Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon.com, and Meta released their third-quarter financial results last week, along with updates on their capital expenditure forecasts. To put it mildly, the growth and statistics are astounding. Brian Nowak, an internet analyst at Morgan Stanley, pointed out that they now project that the hyperscalers' 2025 capital expenditures will total over $300 billion, which is a 25% increase over 2024 and nearly double 2023. The analyst increased their 2025 capital expenditure projections by 9% as a result, with respective expenditures of $96.4 billion and $89.9 billion. Amazon and Microsoft will be the largest spenders. As they continue to invest in the multi-year GenAI and LLM-enabled prospects, we now anticipate that Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft will spend between $300 billion and $335 billion plus in 25-26, Nowak said. The significance of ongoing transparency of new or incremental adoption, engagement, and revenue prospects that each of the four companies are observing and investing in is further highlighted by these high and increasing capital expenditure figures. Nvidia, which produces the cutting-edge AI chips required to power the enormous new infrastructure, stands to gain the most from all the additional expenditure. Vivek Arya, an analyst at BOFA Securities, projects that Nvidia will own more than 75% of the market for AI accelerators by 2027. In the meantime, it is anticipated that both Broadcom Incorporated and Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated would achieve mid-single-digit shares. According to Arya, we still anticipate that the AI accelerator would increase from about $45 billion in CY23 to $280 billion by CY27E, and eventually toward $400 billion plus. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now let's get back to the video.
As you know, we went through several computing revolutions together, starting with the PC revolution and the internet revolution and the mobile cloud revolution. And now we're reinventing computing for the very first time in the largest of possible ways. We're reinventing the entire stack. What used to be coding is now machine learning. And coding was designed to run on CPUs. And machine learning is designed to run on GPUs. And what's amazing is that coding created software, which drove an enormous industry. But now, machine learning is creating artificial intelligence.
Yeah, machine can do the coding.
Machine can do the coding.
Yeah.
This is going to be the largest of industrial revolutions we've ever seen. And we're seeing, of course, in the last 12 months or so, just extraordinary awakening in every single industry, every single company, every single country, recognizing that their digital intelligence, their data could be codified, transformed into their company, their country, or their industry's digital intelligence. And of course, one of the things that happened, and I understand that Mark Zuckerberg was talking earlier, Llama 3 is completely game-changing.
Yes.
Because of Llama 3, every single company can now engage AI.
Yeah.
If only they had the necessary infrastructure, the necessary stack. And so starting with, of course, the AI computers, the AI infrastructure, but also very importantly, the software stack, so that we can turn the models into artificial intelligence. Remember, artificial intelligence is related to models. You need large language models. You need very sophisticated large language models and technologies. But large language models is an element of artificial intelligence. And so the announcements that I just saw earlier is all about that. The entire stack that we're working on together as a company, as partners, is to create the infrastructure, the necessary software stacks, and then the necessary best practices and blueprints so that you could turn these large language models into artificial intelligence agents that help you.
Due to the persistent demand for its new supercomputing artificial intelligence chips as more businesses incorporate AI into their everyday operations, NVIDIA led a spike in market value among multinational corporations in October. In October, NVIDIA's market capitalization increased 9.3% to $3.26 trillion, while TSMC, the company's supplier, witnessed a 6.5% gain in market value to $832.8 billion. The advances follow a strong estimate for AI demand and better than expected third-quarter profitability from the largest contract chip maker in the world, with a 3% drop to $3.4 trillion last month due to a weak growth estimate and slow sales in China. Apple momentarily lost its top rank in the global market capitalization to NVIDIA before recovering. According to reports, NVIDIA is shifting orders that were initially placed with Supermicro Computer to other suppliers in an effort to reduce supply chain disruptions for AI servers. This move aims to stabilize NVIDIA's operations in the wake of Supermicro's financial reporting issues, which could result in delisting if the company doesn't file its financials by November 20. Supermicro has been under intense scrutiny following the resignation of its auditors and inquiries about its financial transparency. Last week, the AI server provider saw its biggest weekly stock loss ever, with a drop of almost 45%, following the publication of a brief research by Hindenburg Research that questioned the company's accounting practices, then stating that company anticipates minimal change in its fiscal 2024 results. Supermicro delayed its annual 10K filing. NVIDIA is attempting to keep a steady supply chain for the AI server market by shifting orders to other suppliers in spite of Supermicro's ongoing financial issues. NVIDIA's stock increased 1.69% in early trading on Monday, although Supermicro's stock continued to fluctuate in response to recent developments. As always, sharing your thoughts and insights in the comments section can foster a more informed community discussion, helping everyone navigate the complexities of investing in this dynamic sector. Stay ahead of the game with the latest stock market news, data, and important updates. I share valuable insights and real-time information on my Telegram channel, ensuring you're always informed before everyone else. If you want to keep up with the fast-paced world of investing, open the description below, click the link to my Telegram channel, and join our growing community. Don't miss out on crucial updates that could impact your investment decisions.